Hello. Welcome to Policy Pulse. Today we are diving deep into the 20th and 21st century of African Americans through the lens of immigration policy, labor unions, and big businesses. We'll analyze how this group has shaped and been shaped by political institutions across eras of massive change. Throughout the 20th and 21st centuries, African Americans have navigated a complex political landscape where immigration policy and labor dynamics often served as tools as both exclusion and opportunity. While institutional structures frequently pitted black labor against immigrant labor to favor big businesses, collective civic action has consistently forced the government to pivot toward more equitable civil and economic rights. We start with the Gilded Age. You're seriously doing this again? Yep. Fine. We start with the Gilded Age, a pivotal moment where... I keep reading that. A pivotal moment here was the Great Railroad Strike of 1877, a series of spontaneous labor strikes that shut down much of the nation's rail infrastructure in response to wage cuts. During this era, big businesses often used African Americans as strikebreakers because they were excluded from white-led labor unions. This created a deep racial animosity while it provided temporary employment. It deepened the racial divide in the labor movement and led to increased state-sponsored violence against labor. Next is the Progressive Era and the Immigration Act of 1917, also known as the Literacy Act. It greatly restricted immigration from undesirable regions and instituted literacy tests. This policy indirectly triggered the Great Migration as immigration from Europe slowed northern businesses. Oh wait, I read that too fast. God dang. As immigration from Europe slowed, northern businesses looked to the south for labor, allowing millions of African Americans to flee Jim Crow for industrial jobs in the north. This shift in population gave African Americans new voting power in the northern cities, changing the political silency of the group. Now, during the new... Oh, you're interrupting me now? Shut up, me. During the New Deal, let's look at the National Labor Relations Act of 1935, a policy that guaranteed the right of private sector employees to organize into trade unions and engage in collective bargaining. Initially, many unions remained segregated. However, the act allowed for the rise of the CIO, the Congress of Industrial Organizations, which was more inclusive than the FAL. It provided a legal framework for black workers to fight for better wages. The early exclusions of agriculture and domestic workers, sectors where black labor was concentrated, meant many were left behind. A landmark moment, the Immigration of Nationality Act of 1965, a policy that abolished the national origins quota system, shifting focus to skills and family reunification. This policy was a byproduct of civil rights movements push for equality. It ended the explicitly racist preference of Northern Europeans. It reshaped the American demographic, creating a more multiracial society where African Americans had to form new coalitions with growing immigrant groups to maintain political influence. Now, under Ronald Reagan, we saw the Immigration Reform and Control Act of 1986, a law that granted amnesty to millions of undocumented immigrants while making it legal to hire undocumented workers. This created tension in the labor market. Some argued that amnesty increased competition for low-wage service jobs, while others saw it as a victory for labor rights that prevented big businesses from exploiting an underclass. Now, while focused on Moving into the 21st century, a defining policy for the Obama administration was DACA, or Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. Established by Executive Branch memo in 2012, the DACA is an administrative program that allows certain undocumented individuals who came to the United States as children to receive a renewable 2-year period of deferred action through the deferred action through deportation and become eligible for a work permit in the U.S. While often framed through a different lens, DACA is a critical lifeline for the Black immigrant community. Approximately 1 in 10 Black immigrants in the U.S. are undocumented. For Black dreamers from nations in the Caribbean and Africa, DACA provides a shield against a deportation system that historically targets Black non-citizens at disproportionately higher rates. It allows these individuals to pursue higher education and legal employment, directly contributing to the economic stability of Black households. DACA fundamentally shifted the voting power and civic visibility of the Black immigrants community. By providing legal presence, it allowed a new generation of Black activists to organize openly with the immediate fear of removal. However, because it was an executive order and not a law passed by Congress, it created a state of legal limbo. In 2017, though, the political landscape shifted with Executive Order 13769, the travel ban. This order suspended entry from the several majority Muslim nations, directly impacting African countries like Sudan, Somalia, and later Nigeria. While framed as a border security, many of the African American communities viewed it as a modern revival of the exclusionary national origins. Quotas from the early 20th century to critics, this signaled as a Republican shift toward nativism, prioritizing a specific demographic identity over the inclusion, multi-ethnic coalition of the civil rights era. This policy sparked a massive airport protest and a new wave of intersectional activism. Black civil rights groups joined immigrant advocates to argue that the ban's rhetoric generalizing entire nations as dangerous reinforced the same systematic bias. Systematic bias uses to justify the historical over-policing and marginalization of Black people within the U.S. But today, I still can't read that. The silency, I think that's how that word is said. The silency of African Americans in politics is at a high, yet the group remains vulnerable to shifts in labor and immigration policy. A pro is that it increased representation in high-level government, though it persists wealth gaps exacerbated by automation and globalized labor. Now, looking ahead, a second Trump administration, a second term would likely prioritize mass deportation and a higher American mandates. While some may see higher Americans as a pro for domestic Black labor, the aggressive enforcement tactic often lead to increased racial profiling that harms Black citizens and immigrants alike. But the strained community relations and potential economic disruption. Why did I pause But that strained community relations and potential economic disruptions in the service sectors. But in the end, thanks for listening to the Policy Pulse. Son of a... Wait, no.